Good morning. This is Mrs. Lengel, and I am here today with Gerrit Wissink,
Hello.
a senior at Woodland High School that is big in the music program. And I did share a little bit of Garrett's song, Under the Sea, at the beginning of this recording. And why don't you just tell us? Tell us what you're playing. Let's start with that. We don't know anything. So share.
Okay. Well, I want to start off by saying that I did not write Under the Sea. It wasn't actually my song. I chose to play it and record it for my concert band class. So I am a percussionist. I specialize mostly in like mallet instruments. So when I'm in band, I usually play on the marimba, but I can also play on the there's a couple other ones that are very similar. I can play on the glockenspiel and the xylophone and the vibraphone, and they're essentially the same thing, just they have different sounds to them. Um, I've been a percussionist ever since I started band back in fifth grade, um, and um, ever like the whole time I've always had like a very good ear but not great music reading skills. Um, but yeah, I've always enjoyed music. My family is very musical. Um, and
So you hear the music, and then you're able to kind of understand what you need to play back, and then you just memorize it. So when you were playing this Under the Sea, this was from memory.
yes,
That's amazing. Why did you choose percussion? What led you to that?
um, well, fourth grade me, and today me, neither of us have very good breath control,
Okay.
and I did not want to like run out of breath, I guess. So I went with the quote unquote easy route of playing percussion.
Well, I'll tell you, I listened to this movie that you made, and it does not sound easy to me. It sounds really great. So you should be really proud of yourself. You're a senior, and you've been in band. Why don't you talk a little bit about your experiences in band classes while you've been at Woodland Regional High School?
Um, so the band at Woodland is phenomenal. Um, it's I have to think back a bit because I haven't really been in a traditional band environment since before the quarantine.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so typically in like a normal band class, we would have like 20 or so students, and there would be like the wind instrument people would sit in their chairs up in front, um, and Miss Yetzi would be at her conductor stand, and she would conduct, and us percussionists would be in the back with our huge instruments. Um, and uh being a percussionist is a kind of double-edged sword because um, it's it requires a lot less work than other instruments in terms of like you know breath control and articulation and all that, but also like because of that you're not really doing a lot most of the time. You're kind of just listening to the other people practice during class.
Counting and waiting,
Right?
counting and waiting,
Counting and waiting.
counting and waiting. When you years ago before COVID,
Mm.
so talking before COVID, when you were in the band and you would play percussion, for some pieces, how many different instruments did you have to rotate between sometimes? Because I've seen you
Oh
guys
my
move,
god.
and it's like you guys are working back there. I mean, you say you're not doing a lot, but you are like sometimes there's multiple instruments that you're responsible for one piece. So tell me, what was the most that you've ever had to do for a certain piece?
So for a concert, I would say like three different instruments that I had to bounce between. Um, and it's usually like either different. like mallet instruments. Like I have to play one part on the glockenspiel and one part on the vibraphone. I had one song once where I had to play the glockenspiel or the bells and the chimes like very very close to each other. So I had a hammer in one hand and a mallet in the other, and that's how I played that concert.
That's amazing.
I would say the um, another notable example of this is when I was in the pit orchestra for 1 year
Okay.
for Man of La Mancha,
Yes.
my sophomore year, and I was the auxiliary percussionist. So I sat and had 8 instruments surrounding me,
Wow.
and
Wow.
I played a different one for each song, and sometimes like 3 instruments per song. It was kind of nerve wracking, but like it wasn't too complicated. Um,
Not
and
too complicated for you. It would have
not
been for you.
not too complicated for me. And I mean, I wish I could do it again.
That's awesome.
So
That's
yeah.
wonderful. So you're a senior. You have a few more weeks left of school, and then what happens next?
So I've officially committed to Rochester Institute of Technology
Amazing.
in Rochester, New York,
Yes.
and I have a performing arts scholarship from them, so I will be required to like continue my performing arts. Um, I will probably continue playing percussion in the various ensembles there, but I'm also gonna do chorus work, which is
Amazing.
something I wanted to talk about.
Sure. Yeah. Tell us.
So I have discovered a really huge enjoyment of chorus this year, and I have found talent for it. Um, I believe myself to be a bit of a talented uh, singer. I'm actually performing for the cabaret tonight, um, and you can watch that live depending on when this video comes out. It's probably done by the time, though.
Yeah, well, you know what I'll do is at the end of this recording, I will take the snippet from what happens tomorrow night at the cabaret, and we'll add it in so everybody that's listening to this right now can listen to it later when this video comes out, probably sometime next week.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be a great idea.
So that's that. I'll make that happen. We will definitely. I think everybody needs to hear you sing too. I think that's important. Another question I have for you is what sort of advice, as a senior, looking back on your almost completed 4 years of high school, what advice do you have for underclassmen?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I know. Or what's like a really great moment that you really appreciated while you were here at Woodland?
So I would say, in terms of advice, I will just give my mindset in high school, which is that first of all, take as many opportunities as you can. Um, I know people all the time say like join all the clubs, do everything, but if you're not enjoying the clubs, then don't do it. I mean, that's bad advice, but
No,
anyways,
if you're not having fun, if it's not a good use of your time, you need to find the activity that is fun and a good use of your time.
Right,
I think
right.
that is good advice. I think it's a lot of work to be a high school student and get really great grades and put in all that effort and time. And if you have that pocket of free time after school, you really need to find that club or activity that works for you and makes you happy. I would agree.
I would say my biggest piece of advice, though, is that your enjoyment of high school and your happiness level is almost, if not more important than your success. And
Nice.
honestly, they're definitely linked. Like, if you are happy and mentally, sound and healthy, then you're going to perform well in school. And even if you miss those one or two homework assignments, in the long run, I think, you know, it
That's
it
great.
helps you.
Great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming down here and taking your time to share your craft and your thoughts about music with everybody. I think that's so wonderful. Good luck to you next year.
Thank you.
You're going to have to buy a really warm coat and some really warm shoes. It gets cold up there.
Right?
You ready for that cold? It's going to yeah, do you like outside activities in the winter?
Um, I don't do any winter sports like, the skiing or snowboarding or anything, but I do just enjoy being outside and, growing up in New England, I'm used to being cold. So,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
but I love snow.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good cuz there's a lot of it up in Rochester. But you'll enjoy it. So thanks for coming down. Thanks for your time. And at the end of this video, I will definitely be playing the full version of your Under the Sea song that you performed, and we will grab a little snippet, or if not, the whole thing from what you're performing on Friday night, which is tonight. I'm excited for you.
I am too.
I'm looking forward to watching it socially distanced from my iPad. So I'm glad you guys are getting to be able to perform. So it's wonderful. So thanks for your time and be amazing. And good luck with graduation.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome.